Corrosive anger. Anger plays a role. We have anger for a reason. As I was talking earlier in the show, fight or flight, protect your family, your property, all that kind of stuff. Anger plays a role. It's corrosive anger that can really do you in, even on a medical level. Dr. John Braccio, of course, our expert. drjohnb.com on the web, and Regional Psychological Services, the founder thereof in East Lansing, joins us every Tuesday. Doc, good morning.
Well, good morning to you, Mike. And really, everybody can be angry, from time to time. It really can be helpful if we're in a situation where we're not treated fairly or we know we have not behaved in a way consistent with our values, okay? That type of anger can be useful. And really, we can grow as persons by taking steps to overcome it. Now, on the other hand, Mike, corrosive anger is a destructive anger that literally poisons us with hatred and thinking that is destructive to our well-being and our ability to really lead a peaceful life. This type of anger usually occurs when we feel we're being treated unfairly, not being listened to, not being cared for, not taken advantage of, or, in terms of living a life with others to take advantage of us, being demeaned. Okay, when you add some of these feelings together and people wear them in a way that becomes part of them, well, then we have corrosive anger, and this just eats at the person and literally makes them intolerable to themselves and to others they interact. And, when in this condition, relationships can be destroyed and the person has no emotional peace due to the corrosive anger. Now, rage can seethe as the person has this corrosive anger eating away at the person's psyche. Techniques to overcome corrosive anger include deep breathing, cognitive restructuring, where you replace angry thoughts with positive thoughts, physical and emotional distance from triggers that cause the anger, physical exercise as you focus on making the body healthy and not run away negative thoughts. Visualizing peaceful thoughts, writing down your thoughts as a way to get them out and reduce anger, practicing forgiveness, letting things go, rethinking what is making you angry to give it proper balance, determining in your mind really how important this anger will be in a day, a week, a month, or a year.
An hour.
Using a peaceful mantra such as, I will take control of these thoughts, okay, or I'm at peace. Calming music can help. Talking to trusted friends or family to help get these corrosive thoughts out. Seeking out a therapist experienced with anger to discuss your feelings about anger and stops the stinking thinking, actually. And any way you look at it, corrosive anger is destructive to the person, personally, and something that must be controlled. If not, you're in jeopardy of physical and great emotional damage to yourself and certainly potential problems and interactions with everyone you encounter. You even potentially have legal problems if your corrosive anger carries over into physical assault and other destructive acts. Now, really, this is the time to get rid of this corrosive anger and move forward and really have some happiness in your life and not just have this anger, this hatred, this stuff just eating away at you and destroying yourself and destroying relationships with literally anybody you encounter for any period of time. Not a good thing to have.
It's like a rust or a cancer that just sort of hence the name corrosive anger. But and what about drinking and gambling? People try to replace. We all want to feel good. We all want that happy place, and if you can't find it, you create it, sometimes in the wrong way. What is it that physical activity does for us that gets that out? Is it just that physical, hormone or something? You're working out the sweat, chopping wood.
When you're working and you're taking your mind off something, which is when people have corrosive anger, all they do, all they're thinking about is just eating away. Where if you're doing something healthy, you're definitely you're running around, you're making the body healthy, you're exercising, you're breathing in, breathing out, in terms of the running. And when you do that, you're taking your mind off the other thing, and you're putting yourself in a better mood. And whatever, regardless of what endorphins in terms of come back into the body, the main thing is you're doing something healthy, and you're just keeping your mind off something else. Because when you're really exercising and working out, you can use that as a time to be just making yourself feel better physically and then emotionally too, because you feel better, Mike. You feel better too.
So, as a professional and regional psychological services, and that is the key, drilling down, peeling back the layers, and getting to the root cause of it. Why are you so angry? Because then, isn't it like 9 times out of 10 probably, or maybe all the times, it ends up being something that person can't control anyway, or is it past and done, forget it, one of those kind of things?
Absolutely true. You know, if you are still mad that someone took advantage of you in the past, okay, you're just ruining your present. I mean, you don't have a present because you're seething and really angry about things, and there's no future because, you know, we've talked before about the danger of living in the past with negativity. Okay, you really don't want to do that. And again, everybody's going to run into people that we think take advantage of us, don't treat us fairly. And that's part of life, okay? But we don't want to let that person continue to control us by anger, because anger really is allowing somebody, something, whatever it is that's happened to us, allowing that to take control of our present, take control of our life. And we really don't want to do that. We want to be in control of ourselves. And when you have this corrosive anger, not little anger, we're talking about a real severe anger. When you have that, and I run into people like that, when you have that, you really are not in control of your life. And that this thing is control. It's like a separate entity taking control and making you a very unlikable person. You know, when you run into somebody who really is severely angry, you know that, and that's not a comfortable person to be around. It's not good for them, and it certainly doesn't help them in their relationships with others. And the other person is not happy either.
You become a loner and you end up dying all alone. Not a good thing. Dr. John Braccio, drjohnb.com on the web, and my good friend, a What's Up Doc section every Tuesday. Regional Psychological Services, East Lansing. Doc, as always, happy Holy Week, by the way, and we'll check you next week.
Very much, my friend. Have a good week. Bye-bye.